on sunshine, baseball time. Sky so blue and the world feels fine. Crack up the bat and you're stealing my mind. We're walking on sunshine, baseball time. Round and around till the bases shine. This little diamond is our daylight shrine. Hey! Scoreboard glare in the late day heat. High pop fly dust on your cleats. I'm in the bleachers with the phone cup drink, trying not to stare every time you blink. Coach yells loud, but you just grin. Tap that plate, let the game begin. You swing once and the crowd goes wild. I jump up screaming like a little child. Oh yeah. We're walking on sunshine, baseball time. Sky so blue and the world feels fine. Crack of the bat and you're stealing my mind. We're walking on sunshine, baseball time. Round and around till the bases shine. This little diamond is our daylight shrine. When the lights click on and the day runs out, we still trace place, talking routes and doubts. You say one more pitch in the parking lot glow. I say all year long, let's never let it go. We're walking on sunshine, baseball time. Sky so blue and the world feels fine. Crack up the bat and you're stealing my mind. We're walking on sunshine, baseball time. Round and around till the bases shine. This little diamond is our daylight shrine.
Let's go, baby. Uh, 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 uh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Welcome in, guys. Today's episode is episode 17 of MLB Hotshot Takes. We are going to go right into it. We have some topics to talk, standings, blah, blah, blah. George Lombard Jr.'s debut, review of the week. The Rays go 9-0 on their West Coast trip, and then we will end it out with the usual preview, the Yankees, Blue Jays, and all the other games this weekend, as my birthday is tomorrow. So happy early birthday for me. Yes, yes, yes. Shout it out, shout it out. I will see you guys in a minute. Let's hit that damn intro, shall we? Bada bing, bada boom. Let's go, baby. Should have been prepared for this. Here we go. Hold on. I gotta unmute this. Let's go.
Well, the two idiots think their opinions are still the fucking bomb. We got a Phillies Karen and Yankees ran to after the show. Oh yeah, we are here to still make your day. But seriously, fuck these guys and all they takes. Hotshot, take it away. Season 2 is underway. Fuck Brian Cashman. Fuck Aaron Brody. And fuck Halstead Brennan. Season 2 is going to take this show to another
yeah. Welcome in, folks. Welcome in. Let's get this show on the road. It is August 14th, a day away from my birthday. I'll be 29 tomorrow. Age before beauty. Age before beauty. Let's go ahead and start off with the topics today. Standing check, as we always do, usually do on every episode of MLB Hotshot Takes. We look at the standings, unless if it's an episode 2 days after the last one. Last time we checked this, I believe, was episode 14. Episode 14 was the last time we checked the standings, as 15 was me ranting, 16 was the trade deadline, and now we're here. So let's go ahead and continue. No. 14 was the last one, because 15 was the deadline. Yeah, 15 was the deadline. 16 was... No, 16 was the deadline. So what was 15? No, 15, I think 15 was the last time we checked the standings. I'm at always Ray, stepping in. Come on, guys. If you're new here, please hit that like button and subscribe. I don't ponder for subscriptions during the podcast episodes, only when I'm live streaming and live calling games. So let's go ahead and kick it off here. The Tampa Bay Rays, I think, are still best. Nope, they are no longer the best team in baseball. That's I don't know. I think they're tied with Milwaukee. All right, so one way to find out. Nope, Tampa Bay is still the best team in baseball, but they are tied with Milwaukee. All right, so let's go ahead and start talking the AL East. We'll start with the AL East today, folks. This is going to be probably a potential 20-minute episode today. Tampa Bay Rays are up 74-46, 9-1 in their last 10, won 9 in a row. And their next game is Baltimore tonight in Tampa Bay against the Baltimore Orioles, who they will play again next week in the homestand. So they have a home and homestand these next two series. Well, next two homestands. So Tampa Bay's homestand starts against Baltimore, and then Baltimore's homestand ends against Tampa Bay. Both teams swept each other at home. So we'll see how this goes for Baltimore. Can they respond? Baltimore has looked really bad this road trip. So hopefully the Orioles can bounce back and give the Yankees some help. Speaking of the New York Yankees are 68-53. They're 6.5 games back of first. They are 8+ games up on the wild card, potentially looking like they will host the wild card game as the top wild card seed. They are 6-4 in their last 10. They've won every series since the start of the All-Star break. I think they've only lost 2. It was Pittsburgh, and I think it was the White Sox, where they tied the series. So the Yankees obviously have the second best run differential, as the Tigers now have the best. Detroit coming out of nowhere. We'll talk about them in a minute. Their next game is the series against Toronto tonight. Hopefully Cam Slittler, for my birthday tomorrow, pitches a shutout, and the Yankees win. Yankees start the road trip as they start the 3 games here in Toronto, or 3 games in Toronto. Then they head to Baltimore. They come here, which I'm in Maryland. If anyone knows that by now, I do live in Maryland. They will play the Baltimore Orioles for 3 games, and then I think they finish the road. They have a road trip they finish next weekend. But I think they play Tampa Bay soon. They do have a Tampa Bay series soon, because they still got 2 more series against the Rays and the 1 makeup game. I think they're playing Boston. No, that's next weekend. That's not this coming weekend, the following weekend. But speaking of Boston, 65-56. Boston has come down a little bit, 5-5 in their last 10. They're 9.5 games back of first, 3 games back of the Yankees. The Red Sox, after that immense of July, are now 6-5 in August. They got a very good match. They have an easy matchup against Pittsburgh, but the Pirates are hot here and there when it comes to that. Red Sox have the 3rd best differential in the league. Not the entire league, but the AL. In the AL. Like I said, they have a 3-game set against Pittsburgh on the road. Like I said, we'll see if that was a fluke run there, the 5 losses, or if Boston really is that was just a fluke run when they won all those games. Toronto, who took 3 out of 4 against Boston, this week will start their series with the Yankees. They are 59 and 64. They're starting to get hot, 6-4. They're 16.5 games back. I don't see them winning the division, but they're only 2 games back of the wild card, which is very attainable. They have probably one of the middle of the pack when it comes to run differentials. Actually, no, they have the third worst run differential in the entire. No, fourth worst run differential in the entire American League. They start a series with the Yankees this weekend. The Orioles. Actually, no, not next weekend. 2 weekends from now, is the Yankees and Red Sox. The Baltimore Orioles start their end their road trip this weekend against the Tampa Bay Rays, and they come home. They're off on Monday, and then they play the New York Yankees in a 3-game set, which I will be working all 3 of those games. So the Orioles are 58-63, 16.5 games back of first, probably out of the reach, but only 2 games back of the wild card. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They have a negative 36 run differential, and I said their series starts with the Tampa Bay Rays this weekend. Going to the Central, the White Sox continue to hold on to first place in their division, 62-58, but they're not playing well. 4-6 in their last, and they got to watch out for who I'm about to talk to next. They have a good run differential, middle of the pack. Probably I think the fifth best run differential in the entire American League. And this is where it's going to get very important for them to win this next series because they start a series with the Detroit Tigers. Speaking of the Detroit Tigers, they're back from the dead. They traded Skubal. All looks lost. They make moves. They trade Mize. All looks lost, and somehow Detroit just keeps winning. Detroit goes from last place to second to last place to all the way to second and only 2.5 games back, and they're currently sitting in a wild card spot. The Tigers are back from the dead. They're 60-61. They're 7-3 in their last 10, and they have an important series. They lead the American League in run differential. They have an important series here against the Chicago White Sox. If they can take this series, they sweep Chicago, they will be currently sitting in first place and half a game back, where 2 months ago it looked like the season was over for the Detroit Tigers. Minnesota Twins are 60-63, 3.5 games back, only a game back of the wild card. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They lost their last game. They're negative 38 in run differential, and they start a series with the Philadelphia Phillies, which started with the Field of Dreams last night. That was their important match. I was gonna live stream that last night, but then I realized it's on Netflix, and Netflix sucks. The broadcasting for baseball for Netflix has been really terrible this year. All right, we go on to the Cleveland Guardians. 59-63, 4.5 games back of first, a game and a half back of the wild card. They're not playing well right now. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They kind of bought and sold at the deadline. They moved some key pieces, and they got some key pieces back. They start a series with the San Diego Padres. That could be very important. And then finally, in last place I think the second last place of the entire American League is the Kansas City Royals, who are having a really, really bad season. Everything has not gone their way this year. 3-7 in their last 10, 14 games back of first. It's out of the equation right now, probably 11.5 games back of the wild card, out of the equation as well. They're in minus. They have the worst run differential, worst run differential in all baseball. Actually third, I think. Nope. Yeah, third, but second of the American League. They start a series with the LA Angels, as the Angels finished their series with the Rangers last night. All right, so let's move on to the American League West. I said it, folks. I said it. No one wanted to believe me. I told them. I said if Texas, I even said it in the last episode when we did the reviews of the trade deadline. Texas and Seattle, don't fuck around, or Houston's going to take over the division. And look what happened. Houston has taken over the division. They're now 2 games up. They're not sitting comfortably, but they started a good series against Seattle this weekend, which they can gain some ground. 62-60 in their last, 62-60 overall record, 5-5 in their last 10. They have their run speak English, Marcus. Run differential is going down each game. They have a series with starting with the Seattle Mariners coming up this weekend. The Texas Rangers are now 60-62, 2 games back of Houston, a half a game back of the wild card. They're also 5-5. They've lost 3 in a row. Their run differential is in the middle of the pack, and they start a series with the Athletics, which should help that run differential. The Seattle Mariners are coming off a win against the New York Yankees, but losing 2 out of 3 against the New York Yankees. They are 57 and 65. They've really fallen off. They traded Luis Castillo to the Chicago White Sox, who had a really good performance against his former team, the Cincinnati Reds. Like I said, they start a series with Houston this weekend. The Angels start a series with the Kansas City Royals. They are 48 and 74. They're at 5-5. They won 3 in a row. They're 14 games out of first, 12 and a half games out of the wild card. They're more likely done. As we move on to the final team, the worst team in the American League, the second worst team in all of baseball, if I'm correct. Yes, no, they are the worst team in baseball. Okay, they are the worst team in baseball. Wow, I did not know that. The Athletics are worst team in baseball. It's probably because they lost their catcher and all that. They've 2-8 in their last 10. They've lost 3 in a row. They did beat the Red Sox 2 out of there were only 2 wins in their last 10 games against the Red Sox. They have the worst run differential in all of baseball. And it shows. So that is the American League. So let's move into them. Let's gonna rapid fire the National League as we get ready to talk about review. We're gonna review a little bit of the week. We'll review some games and stuff. We'll talk about them. We'll talk about one set of games, and then we'll get into George Lombard's debut, and then we'll go from there. All right, Braves 73 and 48 in first place. The Phillies are behind them at 65 and 58. First wild card. Marlins are 62 and 60. Nationals 60 and 63. Mets are 53 and 69. Milwaukee Brewers are the second team in baseball, second best record in baseball, best in the National League, 75 and 47. The Cubs are right behind them, 71 and 51. They have a huge matchup between the two coming up, but the Brewers have a good series against the Dodgers coming up. The Cardinals are 61 and 60. The Reds are 58 and 62, and the Pirates, who were middle of the pack last time we checked, are now sitting comfortably at the bottom of the division, uncomfortably at the bottom of the division, 59 and 64. And finally, the National League, the Los Angeles Dodgers, 73 and 49, the third best record in baseball, fourth best record in baseball, as the Braves have one less loss than them. The Padres are right behind them at 65 and 57. The Diamondbacks are there 64-58. The Giants are 50 and 71, and the Rockies are 48 and 73. That is your standings checkup. So let's go ahead and go into the scores as we preview tonight's game. Let's go ahead and do yesterday's game. So the Tigers beat the Guardians 3-0. The Reds beat the White Sox 98. Pirates beat the Marlins 13-1. Mariners beat the Yankees 1-0. Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 7-0. Nationals beat the Cubs 7-0. Phillies beat the Twins 7-1 in the Field of Dreams. 2 home runs almost robbed. Off the glove home run. For Kyle Schwarber, which is crazy. They were both similar. Angels beat the Rangers 7-0, and then finally the Brewers beat the Dodgers last night 5-4. That is your review for this week. So let's go ahead and go into George Lombard, who finally made his debut, which was... Where was that? That was against the Cardinals? Yeah. So George Lombard made his debut against the Cardinals where the Yankees would win 2-0. He turned a beautiful double play. He, at the time, also hit a home run. Hit his first career home run after, I think, striking out his first at-bat. No, he popped up at his first at-bat. He had a walk, a hit, and 2 at-bats. So he walked. So, no, actually, he walked his first at-bat. And no. He walked. So I think he had 3 at-bats. No, he had 2. It says he has 2. Let's look at the summary. There's a summary. All right, here we go. All right, so let's go on the summary. All right, so we have grounded out his first at bat. So he had 3 at bats. So good, impressive. He's been very good for them. Yankees have won a lot of games now since he's been called up. They've only lost 3 games since he's been called up. 4 games actually. No. They lost to the Cardinals, they lost to the Braves, and they lost to the Mariners. So he had 3. So the Yankees are actually, so they won 1, They won 2 against the Braves. That's 3. They won 2 against the Mariners. That's 5. So they're 5-3 with him in the lineup. They have a huge matchup against the Blue Jays this weekend. So we'll look into that as well. But speaking of the division, Tampa Bay Rays 9-0. They sweep. They took let's see. I think it started last weekend, right? Yeah, last weekend. They started their road trip against the Mariners, I think Wednesday. Was it Wednesday they started their trip against the Mariners? No, Thursday. So they started Thursday. So their road actually, let me make sure that's right. No, they started their road trip against the Rockies on Monday. So Monday they beat the Rockies 13-9. Tuesday they beat the Rockies 9-7. So the pitching doesn't look that great, and I'm gonna say right now, their bullpen's amazing. They have a very good bullpen. Their starting rotation is what scares me for Tampa Bay right now. And I'm not gonna jinx myself saying that I don't think they're gonna make it to the World Series. I don't see them winning the World Series. Let's just say that. I think I could see Tampa Bay going to the World Series because the American League is so wide open, but it's just that rotation does not scream World Series rotation. There are still 3 other teams in the American League alone that have a better rotation than them. And yes, the New York Yankees are one of them. But the only problem is the Yankees don't have an offense that the Rays have. That's the one thing that's scary about Tampa Bay is they don't have the starting pitching, but they have the offense to score, to put up 10 runs, 12 runs a game. Wednesday, they beat the Rockies. Where is it? 4-0. So good pitching performance by Martinez, who's pitched really well for them this year. Like they have a couple good pitchers on their rotation, but it's not like ace. Like Rasmussen, I think it's a Rasmussen. He's really good, but like he's not in the favorite for Cy Young. Like the 3 guys are Cease, Gray, and Schlittler, and right now Schlittler leads the way. Now we have them playing the Mariners. No, the Mariners. They play the Mariners what, Friday? Yeah, Friday. So Friday they start the series with the Mariners. They do 2-1, but the Mariners do not have a good offense. So like Rasmus right here pitched really well in that game, but Mariners. I mean, this entire series with the Yankees, they scored they scored 5 runs in the second game, but like they were really bad. The first 2 games. The first game they scored like I think what 2 runs, 3 runs, and then the third game they only scored 1 run. So it's like their offense is not that good. Neither is the Yankees, which is why they lost to the Mariners, 1-0. The Rays would beat the Mariners 3-2 the second game, so this would improve them to 5-0, and then they would go to 6-0, beating them 4-1, and then finally they would wrap up their series against the Athletics, which the Athletics are not good. I mean, they're not good. Let's not pretend like Tampa Bay beat some good teams, but they usually don't play well on the West Coast, is what I've been told by Rays fans. So this is a plus for them. They also have the best record in baseball. The Rays would win 10-6 here against the Athletics, who have no pitching. They would go on to win 12-4, again, no pitching. And then finally, Wednesday, they would finish it off 8-4. So the Rays would finish, they're 9-0 now. Now they have a series against Baltimore. I want to see what Tampa Bay looks like against good pitching. I want to see them play against a good offense too. The Orioles have a very good offense. They just don't have pitching, and that's gonna be a good one. Bieber cold tonight. As we get ready to preview that next. Okay. So that is it. Yes, the Tampa Bay Rays impressive 9-0 West Coast trip. Give them credit. Their offense is really carrying right now, and I'm gonna do that to my grave. You can argue all you want and say that the Rays have starting pitching, but they don't. They really don't. Well, they shut out the Mariners. The Mariners have one of the worst runners in scoring position. And they have one of the worst run differentials overall. They don't have a good offense. And the only reason why the Yankees have such a good run differential is because they have good pitching. Good starting pitching. Goes a long way. Anyways, Cubs and Cardinals are currently playing it on Apple TV. Ugh. You got the Marlins and Reds, the Red Sox and Pirates, the White Sox and Tigers later, the Nationals and Mets. I hope the Red Sox lose. The Padres and Guardians, Orioles and Rays. If I turn this thing back on, Diamondbacks and Braves, Yankees and Blue Jays, Mariners and Astros, Angels and Royals, Rangers and Athletics, Brewers and Dodgers, and Rockies and Giants. That is your games for today. For my birthday tomorrow, we'll go ahead and recap that as we get ready to end on almost 30 minutes. The White Sox and Tigers, Cardinals and Cubs, Yankees and Blue Jays. They play early tomorrow, thank God. Rockies and Giants, Nationals and Mets. I almost said Nationals. Orioles and Rays, Marlins and Reds, Padres and Guardians, Mariners and Astros, Phillies and Twins, Red Sox and Pirates, D-backs and Braves, Brewers, Dodgers, Royals, Angels, Rangers, Athletics, as we will end it on Sunday. Finally, you have the final series between Orioles and Rays, the final game of the series. Orioles, Rays, Red Sox, Pirates, D-backs, Braves, Yankees, Blue Jays, Nationals, Mets, Padres, Guardians, White Sox, Tigers, Marlins, Reds, Phillies, Twins, Cardinals, Cubs, Rockies, Giants, Rangers, Athletics, Royals, Angels, Brewers, Dodgers, and Mariners, and Astros. That will be the preview of the schedule. That is all the time we have for today, folks. I will see you guys tomorrow, Sunday, for the NFC South Showdown episode 2, where we're gonna fool around a little bit with the scheduling and predict, a random team to win the Super Bowl. But the next time we'll hear for MLB will be Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon at 12. As we will do that, I'm gonna do that a quick episode as we talk the standings a little bit, and I get ready for work. So I will see you guys later. That is all the time we have for today. Thank you for your time. And like I said, we are a couple guys that have terrible takes. And fuck these guys, right? So anyways, thank you guys for all your time. We will see you guys later. Peace!